Groovy. Groovy. Ba, 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 ba. Don't mind me, just setting up over here. Just setting up over here. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Galaxy of Heroes stream. REQS has been accelerated, REQS security droid is now farmable, special mission rewards, guild activity. What up, John? How you doing, buddy? So, let's check this out. Era of Myths and Legends. Thank you kindly, really appreciate that. What's happening, Alex? Alright, Era of Myths and Legends. Throughout the Star Wars history, there has always been stories that just exist beyond the boundaries of the galaxy as we know. Legends pass between fans, alternate paths never taken, concept art brought to life, and characters whose popularity grew into something much larger than the original appearances. The Era of Myths and Legends celebrates the unforgettable stories, bringing some of Star Wars' most fascinating and untold destinies to fan-favorite legends to Galaxy of Heroes over the coming months. What's going on, everybody? Vamos, vamos! Ahoy there. How we doing? How we doing? Our first marquee release is Mara Jade Skywalker. One of the most beloved characters from Star Wars Legends, Mara Jade's journey from Emperor's hand to Jedi Master has captivated fans for decades. She arrives ready to bring her unique perspective and powerful Force abilities to the holotables. The second marquee character is Yoda Darkside Vision. Drawn from one of the most intriguing alternate possibilities in Star Wars history, this version of Yoda explores what might have happened to one of the Jedi Order's greatest masters fallen to the dark side. Next comes Starkiller Luke Concept. Still don't like the name, but whatever. A character pulled directly from early concept explorations of Luke Skywalker. Inspired by Ralph McQuarrie's original artwork, he offers a glimpse into the version of Star Wars that almost was, while reimagining one of the franchise's most iconic heroes. Following him is the fourth marquee character, Stormtrooper Concept. Yep, which continues. Hey, Papa Derby, what's going on, brother? Thank you for the $2. Appreciate you, man. Continues that celebration of Star Wars history by bringing in one of the earliest interpretations of the Emperor's soldiers into the game. Right, haven't paid attention to the recent eras. This most undivided attention. That's fair, Connor. No era of Myths and Legend would be complete without some of Star Wars' most unexpected fan favorites. Jackson. Fan favorite? I didn't even realize anybody knew who Jackson was. I certainly didn't. The green Leppy smuggler, Leppy smuggler from the original Marvel Star Wars comics and self-admitted real deep cut. Hops onto the holotables with the charm and adventure that made him a cult classic among fans. Our final marquee is the character, the Ronin. Inspired by Star Wars visions, this wandering warrior walks a path unlike any other, blending familiar Star Wars themes with a striking interpretation of the galaxy far, far away. All this leads to the journey guide character of the era, Darth Jar Jar. The unexpected Sith Lord has become one of the galaxy's most memorable alternate universe characters. Now players will have the opportunity to unlock Darth Jar Jar and unleash the dark power lurking behind that familiar Gungan grin. Misa Okide. Unlocking Darth Jar Jar will require having all the previous marquee characters of the Era of Myths and Legend at 4 stars. To improve the unit, will require those same characters at 5-star and 6-star, and finally 7-star and Era level 125. We hope you enjoy the Era of Myths and Legend, from beloved legend characters and classic concept art to alternate destinies. We're excited to bring Star Wars' most iconic and unexpected stories to the holotables over the coming months. Good. The madness is real. It is. Dev post is up. All right, let's grab it. Let's see. Adjustment to Tomb Guardians. No initial. The remaining GL requirements should be listed with question marks. All right. What about this one? Journey required. Okay, yeah, 4 stars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Standard at error level 90. Yoda. Oh, we got the rewards as well. 2 Kyber Lightspeed token. Look at this. Look at that. Wouldn't this have been convenient to have every single error? All right. Error level credits. Mark 1s, 2, 3, 4s, 5s, and 6s. Xeric ability modules. I think that's a typo there. Who is the legendary unit? Darth Jar Jar. Tier 2. Or the Galactic Legend is definitely a GL Mando. Tier 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At error level 95. Starkiller Luke concept. And we do... Oh, well, would you look at this? They've brought back the Mark 7 mats. They've brought back the Mark 7 mats. And they've kept the signal data. And they've kept the Gerda keypads. But, yeah. So they've brought back the Mark 7 mats, guys. Holy shit. That's huge, actually. That's huge. This, like, there you go. 5 stars is now going to get you those relicked up units. So there we go. That's great. That's a huge win right there. That's a huge win. That is an absolute huge win. Okay. So, let's talk about Mara Jade real quick, and then we'll get to the GL requirements. Once the Emperor's most trusted hand, Mara Jade forged a new destiny after the fall of the Empire. Guided by Luke Skywalker, she left her past behind to become a Jedi Master, eventually standing beside him as both trusted ally and wife, while continuing to carve her own path as one of the Order's most formidable warriors. One of the most beloved characters from Star Wars legend, Mara Jade Skywalker embodies the balance she found on her journey to the light. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? Mara Jade Skywalker is an attacker who excels alongside Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker, rewarding coordinated attacks and relentless offensive pressure. Her basic ability, Two Halves, showcases the pair's seamless teamwork, allowing them to strike in tandem and build momentum through coordinated follow attacks, while her special ability, I Always Play Fair, weakens the enemy defenses and empowers Jedi allies to press the advantage. Together, Mara and Luke create a formidable partnership that grows stronger as the battle unfolds. Isn't that lovely? It's heartwarming. Right, okay. Mara Jade Skywalker is... no, I've already read that part. Her second ability, The Last Command, rewards Jedi allies for fighting together, becoming increasingly devastating as they launch coordinated attacks throughout the battle. Meanwhile, her unique ability, A Galactic Union, reinforces Mara's role as a relentless attacker, granting powerful benefits to Jedi allies while strengthening her synergy with Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker. Their combined abilities create a highly mobile Jedi squad capable of maintaining constant pressure through teamwork and well-timed assist attacks. While in Grand Arenas, Mara Jade gains additional survivability, battlefield control, and powerful tools to target the enemy leader, making her a formidable force against non-Galactic Legend squads. Unlock her in the Last Command Marquee event and reunite one of Star Wars Legend's most iconic Jedi partnerships to the holotables. Alright, let's go over here. This is the part that we're looking for. Mando and Grogu. Rot of the Hutt at Relic 6, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't that wonderful? The Mandalorian, GL event prereq, Relic 10. Our first Relic 10 requirement, no surprises there I'm sure, OG Mando. Our 5D4 at Relic 9, Grief Karga at Relic 7, we've got one already. And Rot of the Hutt at Relic 6. Now that is painful. That is painful. Now, all I will say is that by the time this GL launches, I imagine Rot of the Hutt will be having his first return. 3 months' time? Do we really think it's going to take 3 months for Mando to come in? Usually there are 4 sets of these requirements. If they release them once a week, that means it's going to be a month. So yeah, no, people, if you didn't get Rotta to 7 stars, you're kind of boned. You're going to have to wait. That's, you know, that's painful. But, you know, who's the GL? I mean, it's clearly Mando and Grogu. That's Mando, that's Grogu. GL, Mando, and Grogu. Let's do it. We're ready for it. When does the GL drop? We don't know. How many Grogus on one team? Exactly, how many Grogus on one team? There we go. R10 on OG Mando. I can't do this yet because we need to wait for the end of the era. And I can't do this yet because we need to wait for the end of the era. So, we've done OG Mando. We are as far as we can be. That's crazy, dude. R10 on Mando. I mean, nobody should be surprised by OG Mando being a requirement. I was 100% convinced there would be at least one R10 for this GL. It makes sense that it's either going to be an original version of Mando, so either BAM or OG Mando, or an original version of like IG, Grogu, so IG-11 or IG-12 and Grogu. I fully expect both of those units to be requirements. Are they going to be an R10 requirement? Potentially. Just because we've had one R10 doesn't mean we're done with the R10s. You know, CG is going to make us, you know, work for this GL. I can't believe they've put Rotter in. I cannot believe they put Rotter in. That's wild. That's absolutely wild. You were hoping for R9 OG and R10 for BAM? Yeah, I mean, of course you are. Nobody needs an R10 OG Mando. He's kind of a garbage unit. Like, I would rather him be like an R7 unit. But there we go. Just do BAM to R10 now. It's going to be needed. Nah, I'll wait until it's confirmed. I'll wait until it's confirmed. But yeah, I mean, R5D4 at Relic 9, fine. Grief Karga at Relic 7 is actually incredibly kind. I almost expected Grief to be like Relic 9 minimum. Rot of the Hut at Relic 6, I did not expect this to be a requirement at all. They didn't even confirm it inside their post. You know how with all of the marquees, they said, oh, this marquee unit is going to be required for the upcoming GL. They didn't say that about Rot of the Hut. You can't get an R6 Rot of the Hut unless he's 7 stars. So this I feel is unfairly punitive. Unfairly punitive, don't you think? Gar will be a requirement? Yeah. Yeah, I fully expect BAM to be at least a Relic 9 requirement. I fully expect... What the... Okay. The game's crashed. It doesn't like doing the journey guide scene because it shows you error units that can't be there. Bear with me. Just got to reboot the game. Don't go into the journey guide screen. Don't go into the journey guide screen. It'll crash your game. Crazy, dude. Raycron is going to be nuts. Are they new FDCs as well, dude? I haven't had a chance to look yet. Are they new FDCs? What was that about? R5D4 is a joke to take to R9? Why? Why would you be mad at R5D4? Listen, man, like if you got the 7-star unlock, you're going to want to take him to R9 anyway for the error battle to get crap loads of rewards. Like, for me, that's a gimme. For me having... Oh, crap, I'm going to crash the game again. For fuck's sake, I'm dumbass. Oh, my God. Scribe, you're such a moron. Yeah, to me, R5 being a R9 requirement is a gimme. I'm like, I'm already doing the entire marquee load to Relic 9 and Rotter to R10. So it's like, I'll take that. That's a free requirement in my book. We love bugs. Refresh the Datacron store. Are we saying that this is going to be changed now? I don't really want to refresh. It's going to refresh in 16 minutes. I'd rather wait. Don't want to spend the 100 crystals. You are talking about monitoring multiple things at once, making small errors. Isn't that bad? Yeah, I mean, you know, it's just I'm just frustrating myself more than anything. But yeah, this guy being R9 doesn't bother me at all. Like, They could do this whole squad, R9 requirements, and I'll be like, okay, cool. I'm happy with that. Especially if you think he's probably going to be in the team anyway. So you're going to have a goated out team at the start of it. Like, it's definitely painful to have the high requirements, but it is what it is. Darkside Raycron is coming back. It's on swiggle.gg. Let's take a look. So Datacrons, are these? Yeah, these are focused Datacrons. Yeah, okay, cool. So we've got one focused Datacron over here for Colonel Ward. 100% crit damage, 80%. Holy shit, look at those stats. Look at those frickin' stats, bro. 100% crit damage, 80% offense, 140% defense, and 100% health. What the dick? That's good on, like, everything. If nothing else, throw it on your Bane. Like, those stats are insane. Those stats are insane. Okay, Grogu and the Anzelans. Whenever Grogu and Anzelans uses Strapped In, the target New Republic ally also gains crit hit immunity for 2 turns and 30% turn meter. Whenever Grogu uses Tune Up, New Republic allies gain protection up and speed up for 2 turns. Whenever an enemy gains a stack of On the Run, Grogu and the Anzelans gain 1 additional stack of Force Connection. Whenever an enemy with Force Influence uses an ability, that enemy deals true damage equal to 30% of their max hit points to themselves, which can't be evaded. Wow. Okay, already Grogu's level 3 is kind of bonkers if you ask me. Available fixes, what? Okay, Captain Carson Teva. Carson Teva gains 30% offense, stacking to a maximum of 150% every time he counterattacks until the end of the encounter. Carson can't be defeated while other allies are active, and whenever he uses Keeping the Peace, a New Republic tank ally assists. The first time each enemy reaches 5 stacks of On the Run, New Republic allies gain 50% turn meter until the end of battle. Carson Teva recovers 30% health and protection and gains 30% crit damage, stacking to 180% until the end of battle. Okay. Fair enough. Pretty good. R5. Whenever R5 gains Retaliate, which is every time he uses his first special, he gains defense up and potency up for 2 turns. Whenever a New Republic ally counterattacks an enemy, that ally inflicts 2 damage over time to that enemy for 2 turns, which can't be resisted. Whenever an enemy with damage over time uses an ability, the ally in the leader slot gains 30% offense, stacking to a maximum of 210% and reduces the cooldown of Bad Motivator by 5. That's pretty nutty already. Holy moly. Then we've got Zeb. While Zeb Aurelius is taunting, New Republic allies are immune to ability block, daze, and stun, can't be instantly defeated, take 30% less damage. This Datacron is already fucking bonkers. Whenever Zeb, New Republic, loses taunt, he gains taunt for 1 turn. The first time Zeb, Carson Teva, R5, Colonel Ward, or Grogu and Zelen falls below 50% health, they gain damage immunity for 2 turns, and New Republic allies gain 30% turn meter. And finally, Colonel Ward. Whenever Ward inflicts a debuff on the enemy, she gains 30% potency and max health up to 150% until the end of the encounter. Whenever a New Republic ally damages an exposed enemy, they recover 30% protection and inflict ability block on the enemy for 2 turns. And whenever Colonel Ward uses New Republic Most Wanted, the target gains a bonus turn. Yeah, it's busted. It's all kinds of busted, boys. All kinds of busted. Yeah, so there's one default and there's one paid for. Like, the paid for one is this upgraded one here, and that comes at level 15. Okay, so Ruta the Sluter. Rotta's on defense now? Yeah, we'll see that in a second. So, Rotta's stats. 100% crit damage, 140% potency, 155% defense, and 100% health. This is already nutty stats. Gammo Guard. At the start of the encounter, Gammo Guard gains 5 stacks of My Kind of Scum, 100% potency, 50 speed, then he gains 20% counter chance for each Hutt Cartel ally. Whenever Gamorrean Guard inflicts a stack of damage over time, he gains Riposte for 2 turns. Whilst taunting, he takes 30% reduced damage from enemies with a stack of damage over time or thermal detonators. Whenever Gamo Guard removes Turn Meter from an enemy, reduce the cooldown of his abilities by 1. That's kind of yeah. Pretty reliably, John. Big J Hal. Wish the Krons worked in Conquest. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Mob Enforcer. If the ally in the leader slot is Hut Cartel, whenever they use an ability, Mob Enforcer assists. Oh, we've had this one before. At the start of Mob Enforcer's turn, all enemies inflicted with thermal detonators are inflicted with buff immunity. Whenever Mob Enforcer attacks out of turn, she always crits if able. Whenever an enemy critically hits Mob Enforcer, that enemy is inflicted with a stack of thermal detonator for 2 turns. Greedo. Critically hits an enemy, gains 10% crit damage, defense, pan, and offense up to 200%. Whenever another ally recovers protection, Cad Bane gains Foresight, and Rotter. Rotter the Hutt's solo effects are active even when he has allies. Holy shit. Holy shit. Whenever Rotter the Hutt critically hits, he gains 10% crit chance, stacking up to 100% until the end of the encounter. Okay. Whenever Rotter uses Knock 'em Dead, if an enemy is inflicted with off-balance, Hut Cartel allies recover 15% health and protection. Whenever Rotter defeats an enemy, he gains 10% stacking offense. See, you can just use Rotter with a full team now. I have seen it, yeah, Sora. Oh, we'll bring it up in a second. So Rotter is now just able to do a full team. Rotter's able to just be a full team. Okay, and finally we have got Snowy. Level 3 with TIE Fighter Pilot. Whenever another ally uses an ability on their turn, TIE Fighter Pilot assists, dealing 50% more damage. That's nice. Snow Trooper. Whenever an ally takes a bonus turn, allies recover 20% health and protection, and Snow Trooper gains 20% offense, stacking until the end of battle. And finally, at the start of Snow Trooper Commander's turn, he gains 15% defense for each active Imperial Remnant ally for 1 turn. The first time each Imperial Remnant ally is defeated, Snow Trooper revives that ally with 30% health and protection. Whenever an Imperial Remnant ally inflicts an ability block on the enemy, that ally also inflicts buff immunity on that enemy for 2 turns. Whenever Snow Trooper Commander uses Rifle Butt, he inflicts Fracture until the start of... Oh, that's pretty cool. Until the start of his next turn, or he's defeated, which can't be dispelled or evaded. What's the stat spread? 140% crit damage and 110% offense. Lovely stat spread. You know, this seems okay at best, the actual 369, but the stat spread is great. 140% crit damage and 100% offense, 110% offense. He still won't be able to kill the Zepho Guardians. Very happy. Has arrived. Did you hear Meathead said the word raid in a post where he kicked the can down the road? I can't wait for TBD, whatever that means. To be decided. Meathead something about raids? Did he? We're getting all of the marquee rewards. He said they're working on a... Oh, it was in Discord, but no info to share yet. Ah, okay. That's good to know. That's good to know. That's very good to know. If anybody can find me a snippet and grip it, that'd be great. Okay, so there's this as well. Let's just grab this real quick. So this is the new concept art for the era, but look back here. We have got a Dark Side Millennium Falcon. And that's, I assume it's Darth Jar Jar. I think it's Darth Jar Jar. Look at the frickin' Dark Side Yoda vision. That's creepy as fuck. This dude is like creepy Gollum. Freaky as anything, right? Is it only the FDCs or the full set been revealed? I think the full set's been revealed, but we've just looked at the FDCs. So, yeah. Could we be getting a Dark Side Falcon? Where would it go? I have no idea. Technically, it'll be a Sith ship. Technically, it's a Sith ship, right? If it's for Jar Jar, which means it'll go with the Leviathan. There's a Lego set of that Falcon together with Darth Jar Jar. Fair. Long overdue levy buff. Yeah, we are long overdue for a levy buff, to be fair. We could definitely use another levy buff. Does Darth Jar Jar have a double blade? I have no idea. I've never seen him. I just don't know what to do with myself. Not getting the new GL for a very, very long time. Maybe that's why they have the Levy Lightspeed bundles returning? Maybe. Darth Jar Jar. Yeah, no, that's Jar Jar, guys. Darth Jar Jar uses a dual-wield lightsaber. See? Check it out. Darth Jar Jar uses a double-ended lightsaber. That's not Rey. You can see it in the journey guide? Oh. Oh my god. He actually drops the damn lightsaber. Jesus. Wait for it. Hang on, what does he say? You all heard that? Hold up. Hold up. He says something there. Get ready for it. Listen.
Hello, boyos.
Hello, boyos. I swear that's not what he said last time.
Hello, boyos.
Yeah, he says hello, boyos. Hello, boyos. Once more with feeling. Oh, he didn't say it that time. He knows I'm teasing him. Terrible things. Terrible things. All right. My my little dial over here is not working, unfortunately. Why not? Bear with me. Okay, good. So yeah. That's all kind of crazy. If you go into his kit scribe, you can see the other characters in the suggested squad. Oh yeah. To be fair, that's cool as fuck. That is cool. Ronin. I mean, I've already done hours on the kit reveal, but that is cool. This is genuinely horrifying. Genuinely horrifying. Why didn't they show the artwork for this guy, man? He's actually sick. Like, Darkside Vision Yoda is actually sick. Gollum Yoda over here. Definitely on board with that. So I think we're probably going to have to take Sidious and Maul up to like Relic 9 minimum, right? Gremlin Yoda. Yeah. He does look a little bit like a gremlin, yeah. Hello, boyos. That's insane, dude. That's totally insane. Need to climb in Fleet Arena real quick. So, what are your thoughts, ladies and gentlemen? I can't imagine many people are going to be pleased with the idea of a Relic 6 Rot of the Hutt. Give me Jackson's rabbit foot and I'm going to be super happy. Is that the name of his ship, Drex, by any chance? OGL Mando needs R10 OG Mando? Yes, correct. I've already done it. We did it as soon as we saw it. Hey, Pebbles, thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man. How's things? The GL Rex, but none of it matters. Hello, boys. Yodark. That's not a bad shout, Yodark. Darth Maul is honestly the most skiable member of the team. Skiable? You could ski on him. Read the rest of the datacrons on the level 9s. Yeah, we'll get to the datacrons. I just need to climb in fleet, that's all. KX droid being in Cantina is amazing. Yeah, that's alright. I just realized I've put this on auto thinking as a levy match. That's a terrible, terrible thing to do. That's a really terrible thing to do against Executor. What am I even doing? Yeah, we can do this. We could do this. Blah, 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 blah. Get rid of you. Thank you. Hello, boys. I'm not going to be able to get that out of my head now. Hello, boys. Thank you. We have Dark Millennium Falcon in the loading screen. Yes, we do. With any luck, we'll be seeing more ships, guys. You know, it's ships is a long neglected area of this game. We really, really need more ships. My only concern is that a Dark Millennium Falcon feels like it has to be a Sith ship. And if it's a Sith ship, it's got to be on the Leviathan. The last thing that we need to buff is the Levy, right? You have had Hello Boys in your head since 1999. I've done my time. Jar Jar seems more like a joke, and I've never heard of Jackson. I've never heard of Jackson, and Jar Jar is quite literally a meme. So I don't quite vibe with that. But hey. Looky, Senator. These are myths and legends are here. Not to be men able to hit your stream at work last couple of weeks. Hey Toad, what's going on, bro? Hope all's well? Yeah, all is good here, buddy. All is good here. Alright, Supremacy Directive. Let's check it out. Dark Side. Allies 100% crit chance when attacking out of turn. Dark Side allies evade an attack. They gain offense up. First time each Dark Side ally is defeated, remaining Dark Side allies gain stacking offense and speed. Dark Side allies use a basic ability. They gain crit chance, crit damage up, and offense up. Dark Side allies start their turn with fewer than 3 buffs. They recover 5% health and protection. I like buffs on a basic. I like offense and speed. The rest are kind of meh, I guess. Light Side, start of the encounter. Weakest ally gains 20% turn meter for every Light Side ally. That's very good. Light Side allies use a special ability. Gain evasion up, health steal up, and health up. That's okay. Light Side allies gain a buff. Meh. Beginning of the turn, Light Side allies have 25% chance to dispel debuffs. Meh. Whenever Light Side allies are evaded by an enemy, that ally gains accuracy up. That's also kind of meh. So, love the turn meter. 20% turn meter for the weakest ally is awesome. The evasion and health steal up and health up is kind of good. Factions. Resistance. The first time each resistance ally falls below 50% health, all resistance allies reduce their cooldowns by 1 and gain 10% turn meter. Nyeh. Whenever a resistance ally is critically hit, they gain 100% crit avoidance and 100% crit chance for 2 turns. I mean, that is situationally useful. Whenever an enemy is defeated by a resistance ally, they can't be revived. That's lovely. Whenever a resistance ally falls below 50% health for the first time, that ally gains protection over time 50% for 2 turns. Whenever a resistance ally scores a critical hit, that ally gains 10% health steal, stacking to a maximum of 100% until the end of the encounter. And whenever any resistance ally assists, that ally gains 15% turn meter. Whenever a resistance ally defeats an enemy, resistance allies gain stacking crit damage up to 150%. That seems to be the best one. Murder beers seemed pretty silly 40 plus years ago, but here we are. You have no attachment to Jackson, but I think it's a good thing. The learning new characters, plus I love the dash team. Yeah, that's fair. Does error currency come over into the new currency? It gets converted into... No, error currency you keep. Error leveling currency and all the materials get converted to error currency. So, falls below, yeah, they gain protection over time. When they score a critical hit, they gain 10% health steal until the end of the encounter. Whenever they assist, that ally gains 15%. Yeah, this is insane. This is insane. Whenever resistance allies use a special ability, they stun the target. This is also insane. The last two here are really good. First order. Whenever they're critically hit, they gain 10% crit damage. Okay. First time, whenever first order allies stun an enemy, they gain speed up and offense up for 2 turns and inflict expose. That's okay. Whenever a first order has full health and protection to start the turn, they deal 100% more damage. That's great. At the start of the encounter and at the end of their turn, first order allies gain a stack of retaliate for 3 turns, which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. It's okay. At the start of battle, first order allies gain 20% health steal, offense, and retribution for 1 turn. Whenever a first order ally counterattacks, that ally gains 10% crit damage until the end of the encounter, and whenever a first order ally stuns an enemy, they recover 10% health and protection. That's okay. I really like the 100% damage though. Level 9s. OG Kylo. Whenever he attacks out of turn, recover 20% health and protection and all allies with retribution assist. Meh. Crit avoidance with Inspire is broken. I wouldn't call it broken. It's okay. We've had the first set of requirements, Mograine. BB-8. At the start of battle, if all allies are droids, all allies gain the resistance tag until the end of battle. That's useful. At the start of battle, resistance allies gain secret intel for 2 turns. Okay. Whenever an ally gains secret intel, resistant allies gain 10% crit chance and crit damage until the end of the encounter. The first time a resistance ally falls below 50% health, BB-8 resets their cooldowns on Illuminated Destiny. Whenever BB-8 uses a special ability, inflict buff immunity on a random enemy for 2 turns. So, okay, I guess. I need to mute my phone. Sorry, guys. It keeps going off. So, Veteran Chewie. Whenever an enemy is stunned, Chewie takes a bonus turn. So, I mean, you compare that with this resistance, you know, whenever a resistance ally uses a special ability during their turn, they stun a target for 1 turn, which can't be resisted. So that, you know, just lots of bonus turns. But it's for Chewbacca, so it doesn't really matter. What's going on, Sev? You're going to need to know if the BB-8 Kron counts. It probably doesn't, Buell, but I'm not sure. Whenever First Order Executioner critically hits an enemy, First Order Executioner gains 10% crit damage, defense pen, and offense, stacking to a maximum of 200% until the end of battle. I mean, that's okay, but probably not good enough. Darkside Ray. Whenever Darkside Ray inflicts fear, reduce the cooldown on First Order allies by 1. Whenever Darkside Ray uses Malevolent Lineage, all enemies are shocked, deal bonus damage equal to 20% of their max health to all enemies, which can't be evaded. While Ray, Darkside Vision, is untargetable, she gains 20% offense, and First Order allies gain 20% crit damage. So this isn't nearly as powerful as her FDC. It's not nearly as powerful as that, but still powerful. The shock is really annoying. The bonus damage used to be... It used to be massive amounts of true damage. And it was like based on physical, not max health. So this is a much, much weaker version. But it's still going to be good. OG Ray. Ear to the Jedi deals 75% more damage for each other active ally. Welcome back, Raycron. Get ready to be terrified of Ray going into ult. Get ready to be terrified about Rey dropping into ult. Like, Rey's gonna go into ult, and if you've got five characters alive, it's gonna hurt, boys. You know, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt massively. Yep. You know, if she's got living allies, she's going to be dealing, what, an extra, what, 75% times 3, what is that, 375? 375% additional damage on that ult in 5v5. That's going to be crazy, boys. You're going to have to kill those units quick, bro. Scabby Ray, 25% more damage for each relic amplifier level on all allies. This is useful if you throw her in like a Seer Malicos team. So that's kind of it. You know, you're not going to be using her in a resistance team. Captain Phasma. Whenever Phasma deals damage to an enemy, remove 25% turn meter from that enemy. Not sure. That doesn't say it can't be resisted. Crew. Whenever a crew takes damage while taunting, he gains 10% defense stacking to 100% and max health stacking to 100% until the end of the encounter. First order allies gain 10% offense till the end of the encounter. Whenever crew attacks out of turn, he inflicts offense down on the target enemy for 2 turns. Whenever Kylo Ren and Mars stuns an enemy, increase the enemy's cooldowns by 1, and first order allies gain offense up for 2 turns. It's alright, I guess. Amelin Holdo. Whenever she gains Foresight, gains 20% turn meter and protection up for 2 turns. That's garbage. Alright, what are the stats? Potency, crit damage, protection, tenacity, health, defense. Okay, fine. So you really want to have that defense flowing, guys. It's going to be a big roll on those defense. Lots and lots of defense. That's what you want. That's the primary target over there. If the crew's level 9 is better than Darkseid Rey's level 9? I don't think so. So, fear reducing cooldowns by 1 is nice. AoE shocked and 20% of their max health damage to all enemies. While she's on target, but she gains 20% offense and first allies gain 20% crit damage. Till the end of the encounter, the first order allies gain 10% offense. Whenever Kylo Ren and Mouse attacks out of turn, he inflicts offense down on the target enemy for 2 turns. I don't know. I like the fear reducing cooldown. I like the shock being able to do 20% max health damage. This last bit is only going to be for a little bit, isn't it? You really want Old Republic Galactic Legend? Maybe one day, Mr. Meat. Oh. Yeah, there are FTCs. We've already gone over them, Adrian. We got crazy one for Rotter, crazy one for New Republic, and then a mediocre one for Snowtrooper. Yep. It's crazy times. It's crazy times, boys. Definitely some weirdness going on. Definitely a whole lot of power going on. You expected some more? Yeah, well, I was kind of hoping for more than just 3. I don't know if they're going to release any more in the future. Not sure if they're releasing more. You know, that's all that's been data mined so far, but I doubt it. You think we'll get model rework soon? We might get some for Sidious and Maul. Right? You could say that there's been some unlimited power. I could say that, yes. I won't, but I could. Yeah. I think the biggest shock is definitely Rotter being a requirement at Relic 6 for this GL. I think that's pretty harsh. It's pretty harsh from CG. Didn't Sidious just have one? Did he? You might be right on that. You might be right on that. I vaguely remember. I'm losing track. Are you the only one who thinks that on Exile Coon when somebody mentions Old Republic GL? Yes, yes you are. Everybody else is thinking Revan Reborn. That's what everybody else is thinking. It's, you know, it's a shame because it feels kind of like one step forward, two steps back in that respect. It doesn't impact me at all. I quite happily, I'm going to have Rotter at Relic 10. Day one, I'll have him Relic 10. So it doesn't bother me in that respect, right? But for other people, if you didn't get Rotter to 7 stars, you're now going to have to wait for his first appearance before you can start working on the new GL. And that's kind of painful. No, it's staggered smite. So it's it'll be like every era, you know. We're starting off with Mara Jade. She's launching in a week. So next week is Mara Jade, and then every 2 weeks it'll be 1 unit from the marquee. So I think it's going Mara Jade, Luke, Yoda. Who am I missing? Whoever was before Ronin. Oh, the Stormtrooper. Yeah, so I think it's going to be Mara Jade, Luke, Stormtrooper, Yoda, Ronin. No, Ronin's the last of the 6. I've missed someone again. You'll have to forgive me, boys. Who am I missing here? Jackson. That's it. Jackson will probably come before the Stormtrooper, maybe. So, I don't think we've had the official announced date outside of Mara Jade. Just like to know if Maul's coming back soon, since I'm finally ready. I imagine, probably, soonish. Been a lot nicer if they just said, when Rotter was released, that it was going to be required for an educated decision whether to go all in. Yeah, pretty much. But on the plus side, let's not pretend like it's all doom and gloom, because there are bonuses as well. Let me jump onto the alt account so we can climb on fleet. Because I need to try and secure some crystals. Because I've been really lax at climbing fleet on my alt account, and that's very much hurting me. Oh, come on, EA app, don't be a douche. The EA app is not letting me sign out. There we go. And now it's not letting me sign in. Go on. Stop being an idiot. The order is Mara Jade, Darkside, Yoda, SLC. Is that Starkiller, Luke, Concept? Stormtrooper, Jackson, and Ronin. Is that right, Bungee Cord? That's a weird order. That's a weird order, but okay. Ready to play Galaxy of Heroes? Yes, I am. Thank you. Alright, let's try and climb in fleet first, and then we'll talk a little bit about the plus sides. The plus sides are they've brought the Mark 7 materials back into the 5-star unlock of the Journey Guide, in this case, Rotter. In this case, Jar Jar. So that is a positive. That is a really good change. But then they make Rotter a requirement for Darth Jar Jar, for GL Mando, and that's just kind of shitty. It's like, feel like they need to pick a lane a little bit, you know? Feel like they need to pick a lane just a smidge there. Choo choo choo. Good. Good. Alrighty. Got to bring in the Mark 6 Interceptor over here. Get that tenacity up. Wonderful. Just basic. Normal operating procedures. Alright, leave my punishing one alone, please. That's good. That's neat, that's neat, that's neat. Oh, that was huge. Who are you going for, buddy? Who are you killing? The punishing one. Do 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 do. Bam. Let's just get rid of you. Oh, come on. Did you seriously just dodge? You absolute dingleberry. So rude, bro. Got him. Do you think Cobb Vanth is worth R10? No. I don't know why they didn't mention him being a requirement, because they would have made it a lot more money. It's a really weird choice, right? Because they mentioned it with all the other characters. Gonna be a requirement, gonna be a requirement, gonna be a requirement for the marquees, right? They didn't say anything about Rotter. So people could have just got the 7-star marquees, not invested to get the 7-star unlock of Rotter, and thought, gonna be okay for this Galactic Legend. And then they're gonna be unfortunately disappointed. Very unfortunately disappointed. How much do you roughly spend to 7-star all the marquees? I'm going to have a video out on that either tomorrow or the next day. Sort of prepping for this Jar Jar one, right? But generally speaking, it depends how you go about doing it, right? For the full all-in 7-star unlock of a marquee, for this round, it's going to be cheaper for Jar Jar. For the error levels alone, you're looking at about $50 per character, 6 characters, so about $300 across the entire era, just for the error levels. For the star levels, the cheapest way of getting it done is if you buy 3 times the Episode Pass Plus. That gives you a 5-star unlock for free, and then you need about 100 or so shards to get to 6 stars. So that can be an extra $100 per characters. Or you can use your crystals, right? This is where it gets a little bit funky, because if you buy surge packs, you can get it done without spending any additional money, right? Depending on your crystal income. So it really varies. If you're looking at pure cash for everything, it's going to be expensive. It's going to be expensive. If you just bought the Episode Pass Plus 3 times, that's a total of 120 plus the 300, right? For the materials, you're looking at 420. If you then also spent about $100 per character, you are then over and above £1,000 or $1,000. So, but this time it's going to be cheaper because the level 5 is giving 6,200 of the Mark 7s, so you save yourself a significant amount of money there. Who was going to be a requirement who wasn't specified? So, who was that wasn't specified? Oh, sorry, you're talking about out of the requirements listed that they said are going to be a requirement, all the marquees. So R5 was the only marquee so far. We know that every other marquee, so Snowtrooper's going to be there. We know Zeb's going to be there. We know Carson Teva's going to be there. Colonel Ward, etc., etc. That we know those are all requirements, but only one of them was in here. It won't be that much split. No. You could definitely do it cheaper than 1,500 to 6. Oh, Canadian. Oh, Canadian. Sorry. Yeah, apologies. Sorry, I didn't see the CAD. Yeah, I couldn't tell you for Canadian dollars. How would? Do 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 do. Pretty sure in the Rotter announcement post they said he was a requirement for a GL. No, they never did. Because I checked every single one. They did it for every single marquee. Like, for all of our marquee events that were coming around here, they'd say, this marquee will be a requirement, but they never said that he would be a requirement for the Galactic Legend. Can I sell my soul instead? You could try, Buell. Yes. I wouldn't have invested in 7-starred the rest had I known he was a requirement, as it would have been too expensive to get him enough to 7-star Rotter. Yep. Do you think all the marquee characters will be R9? I think it's quite likely, Tom. I think it's quite likely to have R9 requirements. Don't have that much money. Can I sell my soul? Thankfully, under Mara Jade, she isn't specified as needed for GL Mando. No, no, no. I've said this before as well. I've said this before. Doesn't say anything here about being a requirement, right, for a Galactic Legend. If we are getting BAM requirements now, or Mando and Grogu requirements now, then we can expect that he's dropping in the next month. He's not, you know, he's going to be available in the next month to 6 weeks, right? If you look over here, we have 4 sets of requirements, and each set of requirement has 4 units, right? If we get 1 set of requirements each week, even if it's one every other week, right? We're probably maximum 6 weeks away. Maximum 6 weeks away from having all the requirements. Can you sell Bugle's Soul? I don't know who Bugle's Soul is. Who will even beat the Rotter FDC? Don't know. We'll figure that out later. They could also just not R9 REQ, as if you have a 7-star, you'll be R9ing all of them, just the Aero Battle rewards. Yep. Yeah, I mean, I went over this earlier in the stream, but for me, having an R5D4 at Relic 9 is like a non-issue. Because I'm taking R5 to Relic 9 anyway for that Aero Battle. I'm taking all of the marquees to R9 and Rotter to R10 for the Aero Battle, because they pay back so many in rewards, right? So I'm like, that's free. In my opinion, that's free. Now, for people who get it later, nowhere near as good, right? Unless R5 ends up being on the team for the Mandalorian. And then, do you really mind? You're like, oh, I've unlocked the GL and I've immediately got a full Relic 9 team to go with him. Are you mad then? Like, sounds good. He does, Seb, yeah. When in doubt, stranger it out. Don't know someone whose soul has value? No idea. Haven't really done the legwork, to be honest, buddy. All of them to R9 and R10 for the Aero Battle is my plan too. Yep. Grief at R7, but now Armourer, but no armor. Well, I mean, we've only had 4 requirements. We've still got like another 12 to go, right? We've got another 12 requirements to go. Give it time. We know that out of those 12, 5 of them are going to be marquees. We can assume that IG-12 and Grogu, IG-11, BAM, all probably requirements, right? So that still leaves another 8 units. Then you could talk about things like, could Thrawn be there? Could a version of Ahsoka be there? You know, like, there's loads of units it can be. Why are they revealing the requirements so slowly? They always used to do this with GLs. We'd get one set of announcement every week or every 2 weeks. They just do it to tease us. Add in GAC reparts and dailies, add all up for 3 months. Yep. Rewards. At least we're 3 cup shards, definitely. It's going to be cutting off his tongue. So far, the requirements are not bad. I think the Rot of the Hut one is really shit, to be honest. They better add my boy Queel. He has spoken. When do we think we get the kit reveal? Not until we've had all the requirements, I imagine. Usually they hold off on the GL kit reveal until quite... Like, sometimes we had the kit reveal like the day before the character dropped. It was wild. DTMG or Moff Gideon? Yeah, could absolutely have Moff Gideon. He plays a pivotal role. Fully expect Cara Dune to be a requirement. This is my alt account tonic. I've already taken Mando to R10 on my main. Most people will have Rotter R10 already if you're going for a first day unlock. Most people will, yes. But there are plenty of people that R7'd without doing all the way to Rotter. There are plenty of people that would quite happily farm the characters after they've dropped. They're about to become farmable. All of these characters are about to become farmable. They could get them up within the, the coming weeks. If they don't re-release Rotter in time, people could have the marquees at 6 stars right now and only need 2 weeks to finish off the farm, once they're all released, of course, but they're still waiting for an extra month or 2 months to get Rotter. That would suck. OG Mando is R10. Yeah, that's OG Mando at Relic 10. They've got a little bit of a string error over here. Can't stay long, just getting around to opinions from folks. How are we feeling? I think overall, there's some good stuff, right? The good things that they've done is they've been really transparent about the rewards for the upcoming marquees and the rewards for Jar Jar. Really, really big into that. That's what we wanted. We asked for communication. They've given us communication. They've reintroduced the Mark 7 rewards to the 5-star unlock this time round. That's great. Don't know why they haven't addressed it about the previous era. Fine, shit happens, right? I'm not a big fan of Rot of the Hutt being a requirement. I think that's a bit underhanded. They could have just signposted, like they did for every single marquee. This marquee is going to be a requirement for the Galactic Legend. Whereas, you know, they made no explicit mention of that for Rot of the Hutt. R10 being a requirement for OG Mando, I think is completely sensible. Wouldn't be surprised if BAM is also an R10 requirement. Wouldn't be surprised if IG-12 and Grogu or IG-11 are either minimum R9 requirements. R5 at R9 is fine by me because I'm doing it for the Era Battle. Grief Karga at R7, very reasonable. So far fine. So far fine. The 3-month wait for most of us to get rotted to 7-star and farm the rest of the REQS in the meantime. Yeah. And then if you don't get rotted next time, you got to wait another 3 months. Glad OG Mando is the first R10 requirement in the game. He did kind of revitalize Disney Star Wars. There is a bit of that. They need to get rid of this dumb wait for 3 months for the legend to come back around. I mean, it's weird because they kind of... Sometimes they'd introduce a unit that was like permanent to journey guide, right? Have you seen the kicks in the Clone Trooper LST's token? Kicks, yeah. Kicks is in the Clone Trooper LST? What Clone Trooper LST? Is there an LST over here? That's a tank LST. Or is it in the... it's not the episode track, is it? Ah, it's Spectre. Oh, it's in the next pass? Oh, it's in data mines. Okay, gotcha. That does... Yeah, if Kix is in it, it should mean that the pirates are coming into LSTs, which is huge news. Anybody that wants to farm GL PK Hondo, now's your chance. Use those LSTs. That's what I'm going to be doing on this account. 100% that's what I'm going to be doing on this account. I just picked up a couple of these for something, but I've been saving up error currency over here. I've got enough for 10 Lightspeed tokens right there. They're all going on pirates. They're all going on pirates. Yeah, they were due to. They were due to, 100%. Got 20k currency saved. Bring on the pirates. Let's go, baby. Bring on the trumpets. We'll probably do another fleet climb. Do I have anti-exec? 7. We might be okay. A Rogwe 1. Am I excited for this era? I'm excited for a couple of units, for sure. I really like the new Luke. I really like Mara Jade. The Ronin guy looks cool, but I'm not fussed about Jar Jar, I'll be honest. Jar Jar doesn't tickle my biscuit. Jar Jar doth butter no biscuits for me. Well, that was fucking terrible. Just getting a complete full evade. That's really, really bad. That's interesting, though. He's not running Rogue One. It might not matter, because that evade just kind of screwed us completely. Pew, 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 pew. Jesus, did that Xanadu blood just evade again? What is going on here, boys? What is going on here? Did he just evade again? Stop evading, you prick. That Xanadu blood has evaded multiple attacks. Stop it! Piece of shit. For fuck's sake. Wow, getting boned by evasion. Nice. Love to see it. Love to see it, boys. Did you see the episode pass will give 20 bonus shards of New Era tunes? Yeah, it's done that forever. Well, not forever. Since the last 2 eras, right? Remember I predicted a light side Mara Jade Skywalker unit as a potential Jedi Knight lifter when you did the JML lifter video a month ago? I don't, Camix. I'm sorry, buddy. I'll take your word, though. I believe you. I do believe you. I did that's a month ago, and I don't remember what I did yesterday. Okay, that's much better. I take your word for it. I'm sure you're probably telling the truth. That would make sense to me. Meathead has left the building. Bye, Meathead. Since the beginning of the Era system. Yeah, there you go. What am I doing? This. What's this? What's this? There's laughter in the air. What's this? What's this? I think you're covered in hair. What's this? Paplam. All in. Nice. See what a difference it makes when you don't have a Xanadu blood decide to evade multiple attacks for no reason. To be fair, Con, if there is one unit that they could have introduced that would have been frickin' dope, would have been Lightside Vader. If we'd have got Lightside Vader, like Lightside Vader would have been sick. Like fully armored suit, white cape and everything, that would be so cool. The last 2 GLs have had 4 sets of 4 requirements though. I think the total number of requirements will be higher, closer to 20. Why? I'm all for speculation, but why are we assuming that this one's going to have more? Everything's had 4 sets, haven't they? 4 sets. 4 sets. 3 sets over here, but it's 3 sets of 5 instead of 4 sets of 4. 3 sets of 5. 3 sets of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'm counting that right. Rota as Rex is a massive kick in the balls. Yep. Been concentrating on ISB. That's fair. Beating on Vader, the white being a conquest unit. That would be sick. Lightside Vader seems... Yeah, I would say Lightside Vader seems way more probable. 0% chance it becomes 20 Rex. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be... I don't think we're going to have additional Rex over here. If Bo-Katan and Rota are both requirements, then that would be the first GL with 2 journey units required, right? I don't know off the top of my head. Lightside Vader, don't you mean Jedi Anakin? No, because it would have to be the Anakin that lost on Mustafar, still got put in the suit, but then was turned to the light side and didn't get killed by Luke at the end of the OT. I'm going for GL Mando, free to play. Should have Mando R10 in under a week, just finished up Grief. You are? Did you get Rota? Because with 5 marquees, I think each marquee will go along into their own set of requirements. 5 sets of 4. So, marquee, 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 marquee. We had, like, all of Hondo's marquees were requirements in his thingamabob, and they fit them into 4. So there are 6 marquees here, right? Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that they just need to put 1 set that's going to have 2 of the marquees. That's all. Still do it the same way. I don't think it's going to do it. I don't think we're going to get 20 requirements. They're upping the requirements by making us do Relic 10s. Is PK Hondo still worth going for? Yeah, he is the best GL in the game to get in terms of mod farming. So yes. Meathead said, no news on Era Arena, Raid, and Sandbox. Oh, good. JML needs R2 and JKL, so it has been done before. Ah, there you are. Jabba requires Jedi Knight Luke and 3PO. JML also has JTRC, 3PO, R2, and Chewie. Vader, Emperor Slayer. Doop, doop, doo. With all the Legend and Myth stuff, you're hoping for a Lord Starkiller soon. Lord Starkiller? I have a 5-star rotter, but I'll have him 7-star the first time the event returns. Fair. Do you think Zucky and Forlorn will join the Pirates in Lightspeed tokens? Probably not, but you never know. CLS is a nested legendary for Jedi Knight Luke. I have it on good authority that the next Conquest unit will be the Mos Eisley Cantina Band. Yeah. Bap it up, bap it up, bap it up, boo-doo. I realized what you just said, but for a second my brain thought you said, and Vader wasn't killed by Luke in the Utini. Utini. Shurgwa. I was surprised that Rotter was only R6, was expecting him and Bam needing to be like R9. Yeah. The thing is you'll want to, everybody's going to take their Rotter beyond R6 anyway, right? Like, who's not going to take Rotter to R8, R9 minimum? I think my reasons are not reasoning. Disregard what I'm saying. That's fair. One positive... It can happen. I just don't think it will. You know? One positive is that such high relic level requirements means that this squad will be strong straight out the box. At least I'm assuming. Yeah, I mean, we had a similar issue before over here, right? Where you needed to R9 a bunch of stuff. Was it this one? I can't remember. I think, no, yeah, it's Hugh Yang at R7 and stuff. But I think, generally speaking, it's fun, don't get me wrong, when you've got a GL squad and they just, like, pop in straight away, right? Straight away, you come in, fully formed, it's going to be kicking ass. But at the same time, it means that the squad reaches its peak, its zenith, really quickly. And that kind of leaves no real room for expansion and growth and development in the team. And that can be a little bit boring at the same time. You know, you're like, I've done it. Now I can't make it any better outside of slightly better modding. You know, that can be a little bit disappointing too. And there's no way to really differentiate yourself from other people that also unlock the Galactic Legend. So I like it when there's a little bit of room for growth. You just hope the new GL isn't annoying on defense. I really hope it is. I've said this countless times, but I feel like Galactic Legends need to matter on defense. They need to be strong. They're not right now. We have so many non-Galactic Legend counters right now to GL teams. And that's frustrating. It defeats the purpose of having a Galactic Legend. Have I joined? Resave the roster. Put some respect on Dianoga's name. Who? Doop, doop, doop. So, Scribbles, what do you think the new JML, JKL team split is going to be? Yeah, good question, actually. So, Jedi Knight Luke is going to be Jedi Knight Luke with Marajad, Mace. I feel like you can throw in GMY into that team quite handedly. And then maybe you can throw in someone like Shakti, or maybe you can throw in someone like Gas. Either one of those will work, but you might want to save your Gas for your JML. JML is obviously going to be JML, Leia, and Cal. That's the core trio there. 100% that's the core trio. Like, there's just no way around it. The last two are going to be your flex options, really. Hermit Yoda seems like a kind of sensible choice there. What if Concept Luke could go with that team? Which team? Game is lagging bad? My game seems okay. Oh, I need to spend my fleet energy. Farm it! Farm it! So, what was I talking about? JML. So, JML, Leia, Cal. Then throwing in Hermit Yoda, most likely. And the last one can be Gas. Gas is probably a better shout. He wants attackers, really. He does want attackers. You can throw in Jedi Knight Anakin. Starkiller Luke is going to replace 3PO on a CLS squad. I imagine 3PO, yeah, because you definitely want to have Chewbacca so that you've got source of guard. Chew-PO is the one that's kind of, do you go for Chew-PO or do you go for C-3PO? I'm feeling Chew-PO for the extra damage will be nice. Plus the extra attacks out of turn, you know. GL should only really be able to be defeated by other GLs and maybe 1 or 2 other teams, given that some of them can be defeated by 6+ teams and don't make them feel like as powerful as they should. Agreed. Starkiller Luke is going to replace... Oh, I've already read that one. Mara Jade. Jedi Knight Luke. Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, he's an unaligned Force user. The new Luke is an unaligned Force user, so you can't really use him in a Jedi team. Well, you can, but you just destroy synergies. They want C-3PO with Jedi training Rey? Do they? Who uses Jedi training Rey for anything these days? Let's see. I don't really want to fight a non-thingy star profundity, because this turns into such an absolute RNG fest. Let's go for it. Can we make an LLM to build the best possible teams with synergies and so on? An LLM? A limited liability something manufacturer. Okay, so this is bad so far, because they just didn't assist nearly enough. Look at all that prop recovery. Oh, and they just insta-killed him. That's terrible. That's terrible that they got so many assists that they absolutely chewed through the Hound's Tooth. Uh-oh. Heal him up. Come on. It's definitely the only way we're going to get rid of this dude. Come on. Bring it in. Bring it in, y'all. Just gotta hope this guy doesn't have outmaneuver now. Oh, you're a dick. Oh, okay, never mind. I think we got incredibly lucky there. Get him. Nice. A large language model. I see. GLs only killed by other GLs is extremely limited with punching up and ignores power creep. No, I think the opposite is true. I mean, no, don't get me wrong. Yes, it is extremely limited in punching up. That's kind of the whole point, right? If you work really hard and you focus farm and you get a galactic legend, wouldn't you want to feel like that journey was worth it and gives you real tangible benefits instead of getting countered by non-galactic legend teams? It should provide a real meaningful defense to you because you've earned it, right? That should be true. On the other hand, ignores power creep. No, it's like the power creep is the goal, right? If you are investing the highest levels of investment, spending months farming galactic legends, there should be an element of power creep to that. Because you wouldn't do it for a marquee unit, would you? You wouldn't be like, oh, I'm not going to spend 3-4 months farming this unit, investing high levels of relic requirements for a unit that gets beat by Great Mothers, because Great Mothers beats everything, right? It's like, that's disappointing. I'm not saying that galactic legends should have 0 counters, but the pool of things that counter them should be incredibly narrow. Because if I were to put all of my Galactic Legends on defense, there should very much be a next to no chance that you can one-tap the entire board without using Galactic Legends. But that's simply not true in the current game, unfortunately, especially with Datacrons in the game, right? With Datacrons in the game, it completely upends everything, and seasonal power tends to stomp down on a lot of Galactic Legends. And that just, it's, to me, from a game perspective and a balance perspective, doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense, because the most powerful units in the game should be the most powerful units in the game. That's the whole point of them. Darkside MILF does look cool. Does, yes. Not sure where C-3PO is going to end up with. Stormtrooper Luke, maybe? Potentially, yeah. Third-party thinker. An AI can be anything you want it to be. It all depends on the data that's trained. Fair. It's all good. For power creep, I mean, it's not realistic to have a GL that was released 6 years ago, e.g. Rey, who should still counter Elite, Marquee, Conquest, and Legendaries. I see what you mean. Yeah, you're saying that the power creep that exists in the game should eventually overcome. I think there is a degree of truth to that. However, I still feel like there should be some mechanic in the game that makes Galactic Legends fundamentally harder to beat for a team that doesn't have Galactic Legends. You know? Also, we see it time and time again that Galactic Legends get lifted up by brand new units coming out. We've seen it with Darkside Vision Rey, we saw it with Ben, we saw it with upcoming Jedi Training Layer. These sort of implementations should, over time, keep those GL teams propped up and relevant, right? It's okay from my perspective, because it's like, that's a new investment that is propping up the power and keeping it on par with the power level that they should be at. But if you look at things like C has never been, in my opinion, powerful enough to be a Galactic Legend, right? He's never going out there dominating other teams. He's been moderately good as a Swiss Army knife to systematically take out lesser teams, and occasionally has had use with very weird team comps where you can take out specific other Galactic Legends, and usually for bad banners, right? That doesn't feel right. Especially when you compare him with someone like Bane, who's a Conquest unit that basically does what C does, but better for a fraction of the investment, right? Those two things don't make sense to me. Like, they're a little bit jarring. If I do a 5-star unlock of the marquee characters, will they function in GAC if I get them to Relic 4, which I believe is the most for our 5-star? I mean, they can be, Bungie. It depends on where you're operating in GAC. Can I train the AI to fuck off? Maybe. Remember when CG had that tier list, like the regular team, and then the Conquest leader team, and then the GL team, and then the DC, then the GL with the lifter? Yeah. What's the best thing to use error currency on? I don't need any light speed tokens anymore. I mean, so what you should do is you should always make sure that you've got some coaxial servo motors for when you have requirements for R10, right? You don't need a lot of these unless you are really late game and you're starting to push into multiple Relic 10s, right? Once you've got like a little bit of these, maybe you've got enough for 2 or 3 R10s, stop farming the servo motors, and it's just all this stuff. I like the flawed signal data personally. I'll always buy this. It's the cheapest one, and it's a good source of signal data. Then just buy these. Just buy these. You're not spending your money on anything else, your currency on anything else. You might as well buy these, right? Because these give you, the amount of value that's in this is huge. It's kind of crazy that Bane can take out pretty much every GL. He's ridiculously powerful. Way too powerful for a Conquest unit. Someone mentioned C-3PO. I think C-3PO should replace Shaq in a Queen Amidala team. Can't have their cooldowns reduced though, can they? Been playing this game for almost 10 years, farming month by month, GLs, and when I see Dark Jar Jar, I think I've wasted my time, unless I do agree with you. These 10 GLs need to be strong. Yes, I agree. Got enough coaxial for 8 R10s. I guess I'll do R8 and R9 mats. That's what I would do, Chemix. Yeah. Hey, what's going on, Kombucha King? You do lose out on C-3PO reducing cooldowns, though. Yeah. GL Mando confirmed? I'd say so, yeah. I mean, unless people still want to claim that this is not Mando and Grogu, I'd say it's pretty clear-cut. Someone check on Egnards. He's probably still upset. Why is Egnard still upset? Why is he upset now? What's happened to Eggy? You've rushed the Executor. Should you build Bo-Katan Mando or jump straight into Jabba? It depends on what you're after. It depends on what you're after. Because, like, Bo-Katan Mandalore is best for guilds, obviously, because you'll need it to get access to Mandalore. But Jabba is better for your own mod score. It's also kind of good for TB. There are no wrong choices there. It's actually proving with an abscess. Porkins? What? Oh, it's actually Porkins with an abscess. It's Django and Yaddle with a slight redesign. I don't think that's true. But yeah, you could say that. It's got to be GL the Rick the door technician. 100%. Given the first requirements are out, what release date are we expecting? Maybe late August? I would say in about a month. Month to 6 weeks is probably when we're looking. It's GL Vizsla and Yoda. GL Darkside Yoda and Django Fett. Yeah. Yeah, that's... Yeah. It's Paz Vizsla and a sock puppet. When are the bonus drops coming? People talking about Swigger events. What date? I haven't even looked on the Swigger events Discord server. I've been hyper busy today, boys. Hyper busy. So yeah, good times. It's good times, ladies and gentlemen. Goodness grief, Karga. So yeah, it's it's all kinds of interesting. Might have missed it, but what are your thoughts on the ship scene in the new loading screen? So we did have it up earlier. So this is obviously the Dark Millennium Falcon, and that's obviously Jar Jar over there. Man can dream. Man can dream. I keep hoping we see more ships from CG, but they still maintain that we get no ships. This art screen is sick, by the way, and Darkside Yoda over here, Darkside Vision Yoda, is absolutely terrifying. Look at this little gremlin. Look at him. Little gremlin over here. I think this is a possibility for the future. Couple of things I would say. One, if it's Darth Jar Jar's ship, which is, you know, quite likely, it would be a Sith ship. Or a Gungan ship, right? If it's a Sith ship, there's only one Sith fleet. Do we really need a lifter for Leviathan? Also, if we look at the era of the New Republic, there were a bunch of ships in the background there. Sure, they were generic X-Wings, New Republic X-Wings, and I think there was a Y-Wing as well. And we didn't see any of those. So, whilst I say this is cool and everything, I wouldn't necessarily take it as a, oh my god, we're getting Dark Falcon. We might do, but I wouldn't read too much into it. Bonus drops are the 27th to the 30th of July. Thank you, Trodat. You want to hoard signal data for bonus drops? You just need the date if anyone knows. Mara is so hot. Gooner time! Hold up. Are people going to be gooning over Mara Jade? Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, I can see it happening. Darkside Yoda looks like Indy if you don't have dreamies. Or if you do. Or if you do, right? Looks like she's going to eat your very soul. I don't like the name of the Luke marquee. It doesn't flow well. It doesn't, no. They should have just called him Luke Starkiller. Wouldn't that just make more sense? It would have to be a new fleet. Separatists. Why would it be separatists? I mean, I haven't seen the Lego movie, but why would it be separatists? Maybe it somehow buffs the finalizer. I bet all the character headshots in the data mine are loaned units for Colosseum. It looks like we'll have more interesting teams than this run. CLS, Jedi Knight Luke, other Jedi, Imperial Troopers. Yeah, I mean, they did it last season as well. I haven't looked at the Swigger events game assets. So there's a lot of shit. That's a lot of shit. That's a lot of shit. Okay. Okay, so these are obviously Jar Jar's abilities. Look, he's still got blue balls. He does still have blue balls. There's Bugs Bunny's abilities. This is Luke's abilities. Mara Jade's. I still can't get over that hat. New Stormtrooper. The Ronin is really cool. Dark Yoda is sick. These must be the ability icons. Bugs Bunny once again. I like this background. Okay, so these are going to be the loaned units. We're going to get Barris, Cal, Chewbacca. I mean, it makes sense. Vandor makes sense. Chewbacca makes sense, right? Because if we're going to have this new Luke setup, they're going to have to include CLS somewhere. Yeah, there's CLS. So we need CLS to go alongside our Starkiller, right? Han, Chewbacca, Chewpio. No C-3PO by the looks of things. So that kind of tells you what team comp they're expecting you to use. Barris. Jedi. So Luke's team, I guess. Cal. Is that Jedi Cal or is that OG Cal? It must be Jedi Cal. Chewpio. Vandor is obviously going to be for Jackson, right? Imp Troopers, obviously with the Imp Trooper. Jar Jar. Darth Talonius. Darth Talonius. They're actually giving us Darth Talon. Interesting. Assuming we're going to get Sidious and we're going to get Maul, right? Dash. Young Han. Jackson. Fit Kisto. L3. Luke. Mace. Marajad. There's Maul. There's Moff Gideon, Payette, Kira, Silly R5, Sidious, there he is. There's the Stormtrooper. Yeah, we've got Ronin, Snowtrooper, Veers, Yoda, Lando. Alright, alright, alright. What are these? Oh, episode error free. New Mando. That's our poster. Stuff and things. That's just sick. That's really sick. These must be the relic amplifiers. Look at those kyber crystals. Pistols. Ah, it's a broken Yoda lightsaber. The hell is this? That's a cup of tea. What's that? Boiling point. Okay, yeah, that's Ronin, isn't it? Alright, some cool stuff there. It's OG Cal, thank you. Darkside Yoda animations are also out. That's Baby Cal, the UFU. Those are borrowed units for the era. Poncho is the OG Cal. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Loaned units are a blessing in Colosseum. Much better this. I agree. Yeah, the loaned units were a great shout. I also be the posters of half the characters for Era Arena. Era Arena? The posters with half the characters are for Era Arena. What are you talking about? These are just the splash screens, aren't they? Oh, you're talking about these? That'll be for the era battles, won't it? Not era arena. Darkside Yoda is terrifying in game. He is. They added Swigger to tea. We won't have a marquee leadership till the end of Colosseum again. That's annoying. Yeah, but I mean, we'll have to make do. Rotto was my first hero and went all in and fully. What happens to unused era materials currency at the end of the era? Does it carry over? No, it doesn't carry over, Andy. It all gets converted to era currency. Not era leveling currency, just era currency. Straight up. Excuse me 1 second. All right, cool. Yep. Literally one of the leaders, though. Not much you can do there. REQS is on the green signal data node. Pretty gamer friendly, actually. That is pretty gamer friendly. We don't need a marquee leader. We can use loaned leaders. Yep. That's the beauty of loaned units. I mean, there is an element of that. The problem is that loaned units never scale very well with your actual marquee units. So it's not too bad at the start, but they start to drop off as you go on. They need to... well, I feel like they need to introduce more ways to get loaned unit level upgrades. Shit. I forgot to keep climbing in fleet. Damn it. You can't upgrade loaned units, technically. No. You're kind of tied into the calendar. You're kind of tied into the calendar, but the calendar doesn't give you nearly enough levels to actually max out, right? Or even come close. Especially if you are whaling a bit and you're getting your error levels higher, they don't go as high as the rest. So you can see we've got what, 107, and it'll be 108 tomorrow, right? As the last kind of setup, really. And these guys are 110 for the most part. Or 105. So it's like, yeah, it's okay now, but if you've only got one marquee in the team and all the other guys are 3 or 4 levels below you, I kind of just want to be able to lift them, you know? Why did they increase the error level for the next era up to 130? Did they increase the error level for the next era? They've not increased it to 130. It's been 135 for this era. You know, you can still go to 135 here. It's 135 down there. 4 Jar Jar? I didn't think... have they said it's going to be 130? No, there's no requirements there. It's not 130. The level is not 130. Jar Jar's error level will be 130. You need to be 110 for the 6-star unlock. I'll guarantee you need to be 125 for this. You're just getting an error level 130 Jar Jar. Error level 130 Jar Jar to play this tier with. You don't have him. You're going to get a borrowed unit. You'll get a borrowed unit for it. Just like over here in Rotta's event. When you go here, there's no requirement per se for a unit, but you get a borrowed Rotta at 135. You know? But you need 125 as part of the requirements. But the actual Rotta itself gets gifted to you at 135. As a loaned unit for the last tier. Did you miss a day? You have them 108 already and my calendar is empty. I must have missed a day. Yeah, I must have done. Quite likely. Quite likely. You can see that I'm not here. Or it could just be a timing issue as well. Like maybe my daily refresh hasn't kicked in just yet. I'm not sure. Are you still planning to only go to 6-star for the legendary because of how CG has been? No, John. Because they've course corrected. They've course corrected, so I'm quite happy to go in for the 7-star now. If we have a look, get it up now. I'll get it up for you boys live and home. Is it this one? No, it's this one. This post over here, I want to say. So, over here, the reason I was annoyed was because when they removed the rewards for for Rotta's event on the tier 2, they got rid of all these Mark 7 ability materials, but they've put them back in now. So this is whale currency. This is the whale currency that they took away last time, which is a significant amount of money. 6,700 of this Mark 7 ability modules and 330 of the Mark 7 performance cores. You know, if you go back in and we look at that in the error store over here. So it was the Mark 7s. It was 6,000 of these. Yeah? What was it? 6,200? 6,200 divide by 900. So it was basically 7 purchases of this, which is $35. And it was 330 of these. So if we just say, even if it's 3 of them, that's an extra $30. So it was costing an extra $60 to $70 because they removed those rewards. But they've added them back in now. And I'm like, oh, okay. I don't mind so much anymore. I'm free to play in terms of the Aero Arena stuff and not getting them to gear 12 despite playing every day. Yeah. So that's what pissed me off, was that when we had the error system come in the first place, it was an increased cost for me to unlock the Journey Guide unit. Because before I would just use all my own materials, relic everything up, and I'd get the unit for the investment in the marquees alone. When the error system came into play, they increased the cost quite drastically so that we had to invest in error levels to get the 7-star unlock on day 1. I was like, I'm not happy with the increased cost here. It was a little bit weird with Cassian because we got a bunch of free stuff. But when they did Rotta, they removed those, so it cost an extra $60 to $70 on top of the increased cost already with the error system. I was like, when's this going to stop? Where do we draw the line here? It's getting more and more expensive every error that comes round. And I don't like the idea of buying into that. But they've course corrected on that, so I can't be mad. I'm like, okay, good. Gone back to the old cost. I'm not spending an extra $70. I'm okay with it now. They said that the materials on the 5-star tier will be enough to get 6 units from 110 to 116. Does that mean that they're also enough for 7 units to 110 to 115? No. I don't think so. You have to make that choice. You have to if you want to get the Journey Guide unit up there as well, some of that will have to come from your own pocket, you know? Technically, with the error system, we had error battles, which is also nice. Yeah, and don't get me wrong, when they reintroduced this, they didn't take from the new rewards that they added to tier 3 with, you know, the fragmented signal data, all the signal data, all of the relic mats, and over here on tier 4, you get a significant amount of really expensive materials from going to 6-star and 7-star. Like, this is just more, like, this is incredibly valuable stuff. 40 girder keypads alone is a hell of a lot. But you're also getting 40 droid brains, and aero mags, and impulse detectors, and zimbiddles, and electriums, and 110 fluid signal data. Like, these rewards are phenomenal, right? Then you pair it with, oh, you're also getting the error battles done. So if you're R9ing and R10ing the marquees, you get like 22,000 crystals on top of it. It's like, holy cow. It all compounds and compounds and compounds, and that's fine. I just didn't like the hard gating of additional cash creepage coming in. I think they removed them to make up for the Andor mess up. Tinfoil hat time. Doop, doop, doop. Had I known the price increases that would have happened in the future when the first era came around, I wouldn't have wailed on the era of the anniversary. Yeah, that's fair. Most likely, the last era marquees needs 5 stars for 2 days. That's why they went radio silent, to make the 7th character to 115. Mando GL is already in the Journey Guide. He is, clan, yep. If you need to do that for the Maul era, well, you had to go to Vader to 5 stars for 2 days to get through the error mats. So yeah. I'm okay with that. As for tradition, changes regarding progression event rewards. Tier 2 rewards restored. Tier 2 will now once again reward all of this shit. Developer insights. These restored rewards are enough to get 6 characters to 116. Marquee reward tuning adjusted. Rewards for first, second and third marquee events have been adjusted. Please note that these changes are strictly limited to mark tier 4 and above. These adjustments are intended to bring error material reward value to closer alignment across marquee events and reduce imbalancing between releases. Good. So we're getting new stuff over here. In the era of the New Republic, this is the stuff that's changing, they're saying. Strictly limited to tier 4 and above. Yeah. So before we'd get... one-time rewards. So they've reduced stuff here, but they've given us more... I mean, that's still 150. We're getting a lot less of these things, but I don't think it should matter, because you just end up having too much. Like, you end up having way too much of some tiers. The daily rewards. Error marquee A rewards. Error marquee B rewards. The daily rewards. 450, 00, 100. 450, 00, 10, 50, 50. Okay, yeah, so they drop a lot of stuff, but I don't think it actually matters. When's the next giveaway? I need to speak to Meathead about that. I'll try and sort them. I'll see if we can sort some out for the new era. Okay, so I don't know what it means by error marquee B. Does this just mean the second marquee? Yeah, it's drastically reducing most of these rewards by the looks of things. But again, I don't think that these... because these are all the free mats anyway. So it's not really a big deal. Do you think that things that can be purchased using error currency will be updated when Error Arena comes down? Yes, I do. I definitely do. I think we'll see Relic 11 when it comes out. And I think Relic 11 mats will go there. Personally. Just give CG more money and stop complaining. Exactly. That's the only solution. Is there a conversion table for error materials to error currency? Oh, I don't think so. Somewhere. And do you think they might have other relic materials into the error shop? Yes, I definitely think so. Like, this store, I think, is going to have to get updated with time. You know, we already saw it when they rebalanced the cost of the Erodium Lightspeed tokens and then they introduced all this. I fully expect coaxial servo motors are probably going to drop down and we'll get the... can't remember what it's called now. We've already seen that the asset for the icon is already in game. It came when they released the coaxial servo motors. The next relic material upgrade was already in there. It's a yellow thing, right? I fully expect that to get added here. Do you have all the materials to R9 everyone and R10 Rotter for the air battles? Yeah. Yeah. If I don't now, I will do. Is level materials going to exchange with the same amount of error currency? No, no, no. It's tiered. It's definitely tiered. Different things are worth different rewards. I can't remember what the conversion is. I don't know if they ever gave it, but it seemed pretty good. Last time we got it, it seemed pretty good. So, yeah. It's good stuff. We need 100 corrupted signal data and 60 good keypads. I mean, yeah, I don't think it'll be quite that crazy. I don't think it'll be quite that crazy. Yes, it'll definitely still have corrupted signal data, but I imagine it'll probably be like 25 corrupted signal data. And the servo motors will be 20 probably. 20 servo motors and 20 of the new stuff. I'm hoping what they do is they continue to drop off like they have been. You know, like how from R7 onwards, they got rid of a bunch of the earlier tier materials. It's behind my head at the minute. You know, they got rid of the earlier stuff down here. I'm hoping that when we start going even further, some of this starts to drop off again. And maybe even get rid of completely other types of signal data. So it doesn't require this and that, you know? Man can dream. Man can dream. Alright, guys, I'm going to have to go record a video. I need to cover everything that we've gone over today. And it's getting late for you boy scribs. So bear with me. Do the truffle shuffle. And I'll see you all very, very soon. Let's see if there's somebody raiding or streaming right now. Let's get her done. Let's get her done, boys. Let's see. Who is streaming right now? I'm sure somebody is, right? Looks like Trooper's still streaming. I'll send you guys over to Troopers on YouTube. And on Twitch, nobody's streaming on Twitch. Sorry, Twitch folk. Love you all. Make sure you like the stream. See you tomorrow.